Hi, it's Peggy from the Pearl Forest, and today I thought I'd show you one of my older but still being worked on um, Bible kind of study but art journals. This is a canvas covered, approximately 8.5 by 11 book, and I'll just kind of show you some of the ones that I did in the past. I might go back and add some things to them. So these were some color pages and some parts from different color pages and some scrapbook paper. And I'm not sure where everything came from, but I have like a general theme and then have things that go with it. This one is about having a grateful heart for all the things that God does, and it was inspired by Psalm 103. This is one of my favorites. I love it. There was just little things I wanted to put on here, and I scattered them around the page and then put in some fussy cut digitals, some stamps, some just textured things, and just turned the words every which way, and some are in cursive and some are printed. And it's fun to go back and read that one. This one is called The Way, and so I made this straight and narrow path and kind of off to the sides. This pocket here, this is before I had distress ink or did much with that kind of thing. So they're not as fancy as they might be, and I might come back and add some other things. But then this pocket, I try to put a pocket on a lot of them now so that I can go back and add additional things I've learned or thought about or want to put in here. And this was from a coloring book. It says adult book, inspirational adult coloring book. Must be what that was. But I just cut them out and made little tags that we could write on. I guess I've only written on this one, Psalm 1, 1-2. So I have additional space to come back in and write some more. And then this was from a children's art activity, and I did mark my table so I can find you in the frame. This I'm gonna have to put way up here so you can even see any of it. So here's my sheep. His ear is a little bent because it sticks out like a tab, but it opens up like this, and it has a little something about the true shepherd, that God is our true shepherd. And then this folds down, which you can't see completely, but it's Romans 12, the International Children's Bible, about giving our lives to God and Him as our shepherd and our leader. And so I like the way this folds out. I know you can't probably completely see this. Oops, come on, cover. Maybe there you can. So it folds back up this way, and then it folds back in that way. So that's just one thing I did. This is on the fruit of the Spirit, and I've used little letter stickers to put the words on. And then I have some scrapbook paper, and then this was a piece of paper with like a stationery that you could use, and I've cut part of it out so I could show this picture, and then I have some actual verses from the Bible. And then this is from a calendar page. I was going to say it's shiny. So this I think went over and not quite connected to that, but it's the same calendar page that I used. Now this one isn't done, but this is a song I really liked. This needs some art glitter glue, which I did not have at that time. And this just says, "Just be held." And those are the words to the song. And I'm gonna add a pocket over here for some additional things. And then I sometimes skip ahead. These are some of the posters that I've taken and saved part of them to put in the book. Like this was one really big poster, and I think it had these words. No, I think this one, "Whoever has seen the light of faith sees God in all things." So I cut out the words and I cut out part of the picture, and this might have been a different one, and I've cut out its words and put them on here. And then this is painted and collaged. This is collaged and stamped. And then these are additional. This one here is part of that poster, and I think this is part of this poster. See, it goes up here. And so these are just additional cards to go back and work additionally on this subject. And skipped a bunch. This is another one about a shepherd. And I have a little sheep like we used in our irregular cards thing. And so I've just collected different clip art from free images. It just says, "The Lord is my shepherd," and then it has the main points of Psalm 23, I believe. Just to think on the shepherd and I am his sheep. And this one was a freebie. Can't think of the name of her place at the moment. I'll try to include that. But this I printed out, and you can read these on the subject. Once again, I didn't really have as much experience, or would have made more pockets. So this is some Bible verse here and here, and this is a tissue with the gold dots and some painted paper and a few fussy cut additions, I think, that went with these. This is one I'm still working on. It has a tab. It has a, does it have one there? And it has a pocket here, and then a pocket down here, and then this pocket in this corner. And I wanted to write something about the wedding supper, so I have something that will say, "To my beloved," and the other one will say, "You are invited." So those are just reminding me that I wanted to do those. So a lot of these are ongoing. This is one I've started, and I have a tag I want to insert somewhere. So it's all sparkly, crystally sequins. And this is one of those ribbon spools, which I'll put some paper on the back. And let's see, what else do I have? This one is kind of stuck together here, I think. Well, the only one else in here, I was working on the 12 tribes and their stone layers. They may have glued themselves together. So let's just find a page, and I'll show you what I do with the calendar pages and some posters. Let's first do this poster. I have a glue mat so that I don't get it on the book. And the book is on the table, so I can't just do it on my table. So those are some calendars we can do. This is a poster, and I had added that sometime before. This was a printed kind of pen and ink, but it was very light, and then it was meant to be painted, like with watercolors, and I had painted this one, and I wanted to keep it, so I cut it down so that it would fit in here, and my plan was to just cut it out and put part of it on one side and part on the other, and then add some pockets and an emphasis theme that I can then go back and add. I painted this a long time ago. It has my pre-married initials. So, I'm not sure how long ago I painted it, but a long time ago. And I didn't really want to hang it up any longer, but I didn't really want to get rid of it either. So this is what I thought of for posters that I wanted to keep, but I didn't want to keep as posters. Whoops. So I'm putting them to use, recycling in a way that I can enjoy them, but I can also not have them taking up so much room, and they can be useful for other ways. This is one of the ways I Bible study, by picking a subject and researching it and adding additional thing to it. Now these don't have much added at this moment, but I have other journals that I could show at another time that I have done a lot in them. This is kind of my one I put in the big postery stuff. Sorry, Katie, but you're gonna lose your whiskers because I can't put them out there. This is a nicely weathered sort of cardstock, and I might even use it for the pocket since it's part of this. So see, now Kitty will fit nicely on this page, and then I'll cut out the other side. I cut so that I got the kitty all whole. I'll cut this side out. So it's got a pretty multicolored quilt. For these ones that I was gonna have us do here, I picked out some scrapbook papers that might work. For this one, I thought maybe we would highlight the cat and the brown basket, so do it more in browns. And the quilt can kind of stand out. If you've seen my bonus Play Your Hand video with the red, white, and blue squares that have the letters, that was a poster that I had where the letters were just too big to put on a page like this. They would take several pages just to get the letters in, and I didn't think that was worth it. So I thought of making them into journal cards. And forgive my voice, this is, there's something allergy-wise going on outside and inside or whatever today, and actually this whole week. So I just kind of sound a little funny. I know our weather's been shifting a little bit. Okay, take the edge here. I'm not going to do this edge because they're not, I don't know, I guess I could, but I kind of want them to feel like they go together and not have a separate line. Isn't this cute little kitty and art thing? I don't know if you ever come across any of these art projects that you can paint with watercolors. They're cute to put into something like this. And you could even, you know, take part of it and make a large journal card. I actually came across part of the box, which for how long I've had this, I can tell you how long I have my junk, scrap, supply stuff hanging around. Way too long. But I just made the part of the box into some tags. And I was thinking it was only appropriate to put one of those on this page. Okay, so I think we're still in here. So these will go on something like this, maybe down towards the bottom a little bit, and I'll tuck them into there so they go together. And let's see, I'll show you that card. I thought we had this one we could use, and that one might be good. We have some brown, we can do a pocket or whatever. And this is the card from the package. It had this wood grain, and then it had different cat pictures, of which I colored all of them. I couldn't find this one on the box pieces that I saw, but I had this one, so I thought this would be really good to have in a pocket. It's kind of thick, but I still think that it would be nice to have. Don't know if I can. Yeah, I really can't round the corner. Oh, with that, it's too thick. So I think I'll just kind of nip the corners a little bit. So we'll kind of figure out our layout before I glue it down to make sure it's gonna fit. So this one you can write on the back. Or we could make it the pocket, like a side tuck, and use much thinner pieces. I was going to use some thicker cardstock, but maybe we'll just stick this up here and use it as a side tuck. This is a little too dark, I think, so I think I'm going to skip that. This does color-wise go nice, but it's then too big to go in there, so I'll have to cut it if I'm going to use it. And I have this card that could go in here, and that could work well. I could go this way and cover one side of this. I like the tab up there though, so we could just cover this side with a writable surface. And maybe just put something, well, could put something decorative on that side, or maybe just put a border on the writing side. That could be nice. Let's see, what do I have? It's almost big enough to cover up the part up there, but not quite. I have this piece. It doesn't go all the way around, but I could kind of just tear it down around there. I also have like a decorative scallop. That's kind of nice. We could just glue this on even with the top and then go back and trim this part here off. It would have not a lot, but would have some on there. Let's see. I think we'll put, how far does this go? Just cut in the middle of this scallop. And I'll do the scallopy part. And then I'll do a little bit on here over this label. Between the two, should get this covered. So the top of the tab, out to each edge. Got it a little off. I think we can just snip that little bit of the tab off. And trim this. Hope everyone's having a good day today. We're nearing the end of summer, at least in where I live. It's starting to have glimpses of fall. Before long, it'll move into winter. It's kind of showing signs that we might have an early winter. But everything in nature seems to be kind of out of whack lately. I don't know if you've noticed that. We live where there are a lot of deer, and the mothers are having second sets of babies just in the last few weeks, month at the most. I've seen brand new spotted fawns. So I hope they get them raised up enough to make it through the winter. This came down a little bit. The corner of the card is showing, so I'm going to see if I can just kind of make it go up there. And then I'll just trim this little angled piece off. Also, our plants seem to be a little out of whack. It was not a normal growing year, it didn't seem like. Oh, that slid again. Okay, well, we'll do this side. There we go. So we've got kind of a little scallopy trim, but that's going to be on the back. On the front, well, let's distress it and see what we think. I want to leave as much room to write as possible. And with the pocket, I can also go back and add additional tags and things, journal cards or whatever, to it. Because I have a space to do that. And some of those ones that I've already finished, I could put on a flip out or add a pocket, something to make a space to add more things. I think my little pad here is crooked. I think I need something down on these corners to make it slide easier. Just ever so slightly rounding helps. Okay. So that's a little something you'll find on the other side. And this would go in here. I feel like I need something on there. I do have these flowers I could just put on the corner. Not sure if that's what I'd like though. So let's play with that. Do I want any other paper? I think I do. Looks kind of bland otherwise. That goes with the gray kitty. I think I like those papers. And then I pulled out this one. Do you like any of these behind the cat? There's gray in the quilt too. I think the gray makes the cat stand out better. So what if we just went down here and went over here. Got a piece for the corner. And maybe here. Maybe not all the way up, but most of that's going to be in the pocket, but I want a little bit on the edge. So to save paper, we'll just go down close to the edge. Until we get down near the bottom of the pocket, and then we'll kind of work our way back. Oops, over there. And this can go in this corner. And maybe put a little of this brown up here. I'm going to overlap it just slightly. See, I'm just doing this roughly. This can come down a little bit more and then circle its way. You can see me wrestling this paper. Oops, I'll go closer to here. Come back up there. And maybe some along the bottom. It could be here. And how far down does this come? Do we want to go all the way up till we connect? Let's go over that. See, sometimes you can get a lot of white depending on which way you're tearing it. Okay, and then we'll put this one down here, and we'll leave some white space. All right, so let's start over here. And do you want this one or this one? I think we'll put this one on first. So get my glue mat. Get some good glue around the edges. And I wished I had distressed it first, especially on this edge. I can come back and do the page edge later. Can't really come back and do this very well. Since we did that to the card, I think it would be nice to do it to this. Sometimes I have to lift up the page to get the actual page edge and page corner. The sticker's in our way. And it's better to go over a little bit that you can trim than to miss the edge. Although you can cover a little bit with your Distress ink. Not a lot though. Okay, so get that down really good. And if we need to do a little more, we can come in like this, or we can come in with the art glitter glue. Get those edges down. That doesn't want to stick. There we go. Okay, and then we'll pull out this one. And I could do some stenciling on the white background, but I actually might just use my Distress dauber here and fill in like a little bit in here. Like this. Cat's covering up part of this. The cat's in that part. Okay. Glue this one on. If you're going to put a lot of things in your journal, then the thinner paper is probably better for most of the things. Otherwise, your journal gets very big and chunky very quickly. This one already is opening a little extra from the added things, but I don't mind. Eventually it's going to be gapping open most likely. And see, this little edge here will hide. Okay, so we got that. Now we can put our cat in here. Could even make the cat or part of the cat a pocket. We could have done that, but I'm not going to on this one. But especially since, excuse me, since it's a cardstock material, it would be sturdy for a pocket. Little secret pockets like that, though, with your pictures would be a nice addition. Okay, I wanted this near the bottom, but not on the bottom, and I want it to tuck in. That's going to have some good holding to get that to stay down. Okay. There's our kitty. Like I said, we can go back and glue things a little tighter if we need to. Okay, let's put this brown one up here. So it's a fairly simple page. You know, I've done elaborate kind of collages on these pages. I've done writing all across the pages. But sometimes with these posters, there's so much to the poster that it's kind of, there isn't room to do a lot. Plus the poster would get lost in it if you did too much. Let's see, this goes this way. You want to make the poster be your focal point. And I'm not going to finish this completely because I want to show you how I do the calendar one. So for time purposes, but I will probably go back and add some little something here and there. Okay, so we want to put these things out of the way. So I'm hoping this gray and brown paper will kind of pull the two pages together As you can see, I've done most of mine as 2-page spreads so that there is room to put what I want to put on there, plus there's room for pockets or other such things. And if you're interested, I can show you some additional journals that I've done in the future. I know there's been some requests for journals. This is kind of an art journal style in that there isn't as much writing, although I've been working to add additional writing space. That's up a little bit. Okay, and we'll put our cat down, but let's kind of distress the back here. Just kind of randomly, it kind of blends the page and knocks down the white a little bit. There we go. Now I did not, I guess I did distress around that. Actually, I guess I already have done distressed around this. Okay, so now we need to line up the basket with the other side. So if you have something crossing, you want to make sure you can line it up, and it has to tuck down in here too. I'm glad we got the blanket onto that paper there. This part in the crease here will probably need some art glitter glue because it's going to be a harder space to get in there and keep in there. And I might take my little distressing brush later and go in there as well so that you can't see it as well or as much. Okay, so let's see if we can get the art glitter glue working here. Need to open another one. Let's put this down. Now this is quite thick cardboard, so we'll add quite a bit to the journal, but that's okay. We'll put several journal cards in here, and later I'll add some kind of title somewhere. Make sure we get lots of glue on this to hold this sturdy thing down. My glue's stopping at the moment. Okay, I'm gonna come in a little bit so we can see our border. Hopefully this is out of your way. And that's kind of rustic in that we have like part of this package showing and the wood grain. But I just didn't want to miss the opportunity to put it part of its original box in here. I mean, literally, I've had this box for decades, this piece of the box anyway. I think I had the painting still sitting in it. It was just had some little folded up edges that the ones you could paint in it. Hopefully that's down good. If not, we'll come back. Okay, so this will go in here. And then I was thinking, I like the colors with this. Looks like we need a little bit more glue here. But either I can cut it or I can fold it. Which would be better? The folding might make it too thick. We already have this really thick pocket. Let's see if we had it in here approximately in half. This is this is about 8 by 4. So they'd be 4 by 4 if I just cut them in half. Let's see. We could put one under this and one over it. So what if I did it 5 inches? And then we'd have 3. Why don't we do that? Scissors. This didn't quite have a tough spot there. So if we stick this one, it still goes in quite a ways, but we could leave it sticking up some. And then we could put this one in there. So why don't we just round the corners rather than make it like a tag or something. Just put some big rounded corners. And I don't think I'm going to add the extra decoration, that focal image on here at this moment, because I think I want to wait until I'm putting on the title type thing, so that I can maybe get, you know, one digital or something that blends, goes together. Maybe add something on here, maybe something on there, something on these, you know, maybe something there, and then have like some words or that kind of thing, and maybe even a label down there. It'd be nice if they all coordinated. So when I go to finish this page, I can do that. And then these have additional journaling space on the backs. So we have this card, and this one, and we could always add additional, even just folded papers. So we'll go like this way over here. And this was just a masterboard collage of scraps. That's how I made this, which we just cut apart into 2 journal cards. So this is, you know, well, most pages are one of a kind, but this is because nobody else is going to have the box to this motherboard, or motherboard, is it a motherboard? Masterboard. And this painting that I have done. So it's totally unique. So there we go for that one. And now I kind of like skipping ahead a bit. For the other page we were going to do, we have several of these calendar pages that have words. Well, this was the calendar. Kind of was pulling stuff out for this one. Oh, that's a different calendar. Oh, this goes really nice with that. I haven't really pulled out black and white ones yet, though. I'll have to remember that. Here's one. And if we do a 2-page, we could get 2 that went together, put the 2 different words on, but intermix the papers. Let's see what goes. Those kind of look nice together. I think we can get those on there. Why don't we try that as a 2-page? And we'll put these up to do another time. So the first thing I would do is cut out or tear out the words. I think we'll tear them. Figure out, we'll go between here. And I try to get fairly close, not real close, but not having a lot of the extra. Now when we have to, sorry, go around a corner here, if you put your finger down, then it won't tear further than your finger. And just to be simple, I think I'm going to just take that off. We'll use this on this side and this side to blend the 2 together. Now I could cut each of these apart, but in this case, I think we'll keep them together. And I think we'll put more of this pink over on the other side because we'll have this big thing of pink, but we'll put a little bit on this side. Okay, I'll take that one off. Go around here. Have to think about pockets, fitting something into this, or tuck. Could do tuck. Okay, this one I think I'm going to go down a little bit and try to keep that flower sort of together. And come in here. Okay, so we have this for the middle of a page. And let's see, we'll come in this blue section here and go around this verse. So we have a psalm and we have a proverb. Those are nice together. Where this possibly is not the whole verse, I sometimes will go back and write out the whole verse. Sometimes they just pick a part of it. So we have that piece to use. So we'll collage its background along with some scrapbook paper. You can have this sit on top of the collage, or it can have the collage come up to it. If we can work it out, I think sitting on top probably is better. Okay, so now do we want this here or do we want this here? For some reason I want it over here. Okay, what did I pull out for paper? We still have some more of that gray, if that works. I guess I just pulled out this pink. Okay. Will it be enough? It should be enough do the pink with these two, because the calendar would have been a little bigger than each page, so we should, with overlap, not have quite enough, but with the scrapbook paper we will. And this variation of paper goes good. They both have a little pink. This one has a lot of pink. It'd be nice if we had a paper with this color as well. I might see if I can grab one. So I think I'm just going to tear down one side. For now, and get some of the different colors, gradients of pink. Let me just reach over here and see if I can find one of the blue ones. It's kind of an aqua color. Let's see, what have I got that's aqua color? Where that would go. It also has some darker green in there. I have this darker green with some leaves that might look nice. I don't know that I have an aqua color. Well, maybe I do. I do. It's a little lighter, a little different, but let's see. Okay, so we have this green with some plants, so that's a possibility to add in. And then I have this one. It's a little darker, but with the black writing, I think this could look nice too. So what if we just take some of this, add it to our collection. Up there. And do we want some of this? Or would this make good pockets or tucks? If we put these up more towards the top, we could have a skinnier one here and a bigger one there. If we have big tags, they might cover up our writing, but that would be kind of just hiding down there. I kind of like them centered though. So what if we made a fairly long pocket for here? Now, I'm just freehand cutting this. Hopefully I'm doing it fairly straight. That's probably far enough. Let's cover this up so we don't drag this in. Yeah, that should be plenty. So we'll have this pocket, and maybe we'll do a corner tuck here. Do that on here. I'm not going to be able to go, well, maybe I can go under that. Let's see. That's going to put the flower upside down. Maybe I'll just go over to this corner. Kind of just going by what will fit in here. It didn't fit completely, but I can snip that little bit. So just aim our scissors, using the scissors on this edge. We can line that up. That'll look nice with some other ones too. So we can put this in here. And then we'll use the other pieces for collage in here. I think to balance this, I might put this piece over here in the corner. To balance the dark, and then I'll put This is more the darker color, so maybe I'll use this corner here. Up in that corner. So that kind of balances. All right. So I think what I'm going to do, this isn't exactly straight, but maybe now it's small enough to go in here. And get it a little straighter. It was wobbly. That didn't cut good at that end, though. Wonder why that didn't. See, sometimes you can use your finger to line up along the blade. That's better anyway. Since I'm gonna spread my collage out under here and under here, I am going to mark on here where I'm going to put the pocket, so I make sure I collage beyond it and don't stop the paper right at my pocket. I'll sit this up here. Same thing with this one. Hold of this. So this will be a corner check. We're going to go over these lines so you won't see them. That'll be part of the collage. But then where do we want this? Think about there. So if we trace this as well, we can make sure that our collage goes beyond these lines. I'm not quite getting as close to this because it's hard to do it without writing on it. I didn't go here yet. Okay, so we'll go past those lines. And then this one, I don't want to be in the pocket, but kind of centered. Can go just down here. Whatever's in the pocket will cover these up some, but that's okay because we'll pull them back out to see. So just a light pencil line like this won't show because we're going to collage around it and over the line. So if we do it so that we can't see the line anymore, we will know we've gone far enough. Okay, put that up there. Okay, so this will be our first one. And I don't think I'm going to distress on this one between the pieces. I might around the words to stand them out, but for the pieces, I'm just going to put them on so they kind of blend into a background. All right, let's put this on here and start collaging them on. I should have checked the clock to see how long we are, but we're kind of committed on this page now, so get it done. See, I'm down way too far. Try again. Get it up here to the edge. There we go. And we can come back and trim the edge if we need to. And we think about the colors that we have in the center and for the pockets. So in our placing of stuff around, we can keep that in mind. And that things are good in threes. So like this dark color is kind of like the green down there, which would make sort of 3, but I still think that this dark color needs to be over on this side as well. So maybe because these are down here, then maybe here and somewhere up there. Now this nice straight edge there, you can go across, but it's a little harder. If we can get this up here and to go across and behind that, that would be good. So that would be there. And then we can put something in here. It's maybe not very big. I actually would like that one to be a little smaller too. So, whoops, we got a big glue blob down here. And sometimes I would take one of these and stick them under these edges so that I'm not gluing on the pages next to it. So see, we've crossed over these lines, so they're good to go. Let's see, how can we shrink this? Well, we could have less here. I don't want it as big as that. I want to come down a little bit over this edge. Here, let's pick up this wad of glue that came off, and we'll just spread it on here with my finger. Not sure why my glue stick threw off a chunk, but it did. Okay, we'll tuck this down into the crease as best we can and make sure we're up above the top. A little more is fine. Okay, so we've crossed that, which means our center thing will be touching that. Now this is our blue one. This is our pink one, so all right, we need to get some more pink sprinkled around. This is the blue one. I'd like this to show. That's the pink one. So we really want more pink over here now. Maybe we'll put this one down here. And that little punched hole for the calendar won't show because it'll be under our pocket. So we want to go over these lines. Well, actually, it'll be on here. Not under the pocket. That's okay. Okay, now we have some more pink to go around our blue one. Oops. That's some under our pocket. Let's put some more pink up here. What do we have to work with? That's pretty. Does that work okay with this? Do we want something lighter? I think the lighter might be nicer next to that pink. So I'm just taking off some of this. Now, I don't want to go up too far because we are going to go over the edge of the page. This will need big trimming. Get down here. Far enough. Okay. Now we could go across here, especially with the thinness of the calendar page. But do we want to? You could go through here. Tear this off. This is big enough to go down here. We fold this. You can try wrapping across. Let's see how this works. If you have a thinner calendar, this is a nice use for it. You can also decorate journal cards. I have to move this up for a minute. You can use the thicker ones for journal cards, or I've used them for the centerpieces of a signature page. These are also big enough you could have them as a signature page. I think I lost my fold, but use my thumbnail to get in here into the crease, and just you'll have a little pink next to it, but that's okay. So we have this section. Why don't we do some of the blue? It's not quite big enough. Would work over here though. Out here. That's all behind. A lot of that's behind. So we'll just tear it off like that. Put this down here. Okay. As long as we get behind the tuck and out to the centerpiece one. And this is the pink one, so mostly blue we want. We need some blue up here. This one might be nice. We could even wrap it around a little bit. We'll need to do something there. Maybe put a little pink there before we stick this other one down. Maybe just a little bit of pink. Oops, it's blocking off again. Okay, so this goes down to there. So if we go up under here, but we want to go all the way down to there. That. Pull up this extra glue off of here. Not sure why my glue stick is breaking apart today. These little holes here, I'll just add a little distressing to them and it'll just be a little distressed spot. So I started to go over, but then I was going to leave that funny little hole. So I'm coming back so that I can not have a funny little hole. Now we're gonna gently go down into the crease, get that sealed, and then stick this across like that. Okay, now we have this section through here. I was thinking if we use the blue, but blue with a big pink flower over towards this side. So let's see, somewhere in that vicinity, and well, this one has to go up about to here. So the other one doesn't have to go quite as much. Tear that off. This is about the thickness of thick wrapping paper. Oh, I'm going this way. Am I going this way? Guess I'm going this way. What way am I going? This way? Kind of lost track of where I was going. Hopefully this covers that in there. I think it does. I think I changed my direction a couple times, but that's okay. I hope this gives you some ideas of some things that you could do in an art journal and with scriptures if you wanted to. Kind of like I like it better this way. Hopefully you can't hear my stomach. It's saying it's time to eat. Hopefully it's not loud enough for you to hear. Okay, so we took that across the crease and covered all of our lines over here, but we need something through here. Let's see. And we really just have this area left. So another one of those blue to pinks could be nice if we have one. This is mostly blue. This is the dark color. We have some of this little purple. We have this brighter pink. And then we have this pretty flower. And we have this one with the pink in it. Let's see. I know this is straight edge, but we can fix that. So if we put this here, and just let it go all the way over, let's just ruffle up this edge here. So it's not quite so straight. And how much wiggle room do we have here? Don't have a lot right here, so we'll make sure that's close, but this has a little more room, so we can give it a little more shape. And then just kind of go along here. We'll go fairly straight across. So this puts a little bit of pink over to the pink side. Not a lot, but a little. And oops, blue over to the blue side. Over far enough? Probably just barely. And now we have a little section right here. I think maybe this purpley piece. It's really just this little spot. barely making it there. You could do it more at an angle. We could do that. Okay. This has a straight edge we'll get rid of. These extra pieces that we're not using, I'll go back and make some journal cards to go in our pockets, and we'll use those extra pieces. So these pieces, I'll collage some journal cards. So we'll keep those together. I'll just tuck them up there for the moment. Okay, let's trim the edges so we can see where we are before I stick on the pockets and the center pieces. So this is white and white, which is a little challenging. We'll just trim along our edge. When you get down into this crease fold, it's a little more challenging too. But if you get mostly down there, if I can pull this up so you can see, you can tear the rest of the way. This is kind of thicker cardstock. And if you nip your page a little bit, it's really not the end of the world. So there's another little piece we could use. I'll turn this around. Oops. Put this down this way. That edge off, this little snip here. You can always zoom in on your viewing screen if you know how. Sometimes it takes time to learn those things, but if you want to see a close-up of something. Okay, I think we got those pretty good. Let's see, our pockets and such are down here. Can close up our glue. Lay this down so it'll start coming down. Now, this one goes over here. This one goes here. And this one here, and this one here. That. So let's just do the edges. Looks like a spring flower garden, doesn't it? Now, I was going to say you didn't have to do the bottom of this because we'll do the edge of the page, but usually this doesn't go quite down to the bottom of the page, although I think we're going to have to because we did not put our paper down there. Just lightly give this a little something, hides the white torn edges, and it'll make it stand out a bit on the page as a focus. This is a little extra white here, which we could have torn off, but I left it for just a little extra distressing space. I think in the olden days, when ladies would do junk journals, like around the turn of the century, previous turn of the century, so in the 1900s, they used magazines and newspapers and other things, but if they wanted an edge like this, they actually used like a match to burn part of it and then crumble off the part that they didn't want, and it would leave a blackened or a browned edge to highlight something. So this is a more modern take on that. And maybe you don't like that. And say you didn't want to use distressing inks, or you don't have them, you could glue these pieces onto something that would separate it from the background. Maybe a solid other color or something like this dark green or white or, you know, cream or whatever you might want to do. And then after you glued these on, then go back and tear around that so that you just left a little bit of a border, and that would also lift and separate it from the background. It's nice to have it stand out some, so it's just not part of the background. But you can see how you can add a little bit of scrapbook paper, and then take two pictures and share. And they didn't even have to be across from each other. You could put them somewhere else. But you can share their pieces and blend them in together to make 2 pages. So this one, Sing to the Lord with Thanksgiving. So this pocket could talk about Thanksgiving or singing. And then this is Trust in the Lord with all your heart. So like God's provision and trusting. So they could both be Thanksgiving, being thankful. Okay, I am going to glue these down first. So I guess we do need this for that. So we'll go out here and cover this. And if you hear a lot of banging outside, I'm sorry. The neighbors are doing a rock project, and occasionally the dump truck comes by and dumps big chunky gravel or huge landscape rocks. And then the little machinery goes around and spreads it, and it makes a fair amount of noise. So I'm trying to line up this one corner here to get it kind of where I wanted it before. I think this is good. While I'm thinking about it, I'm gonna kind of distress the hole there and here. And I think I'll go around the edge of the page. Oh, I didn't trim this side. Good to do before you distress, although you can always go back and distress additionally. Okay, we'll glue this one on, and I'll let you go. Okay, I'll just, oops, this is coming up. All right, so make sure we cover all the spots and we're about centered. Okay, got that on. If we wanted to get this up a little bit, we could go back and put some pieces down here, but I think we won't for this one. Okay, see if we can get this going. Oops, where's our rusty glue? If it leaks out, it will not dry clear. So we'll spread that to make sure it's not going to leak. Oops. is constantly clogging. There we go. Seems like 2 times usually eventually gets it. Okay, put this pocket. We have our edges all coming in to cover it up, but I'm kind of centering it. And in this case, I'm taking it all the way down to the page edge, but not pulling it too tight because we want to be able to get in there. So there's that one. And now we'll put on our corner one. And like I said, at some point I'll go back and add journal cards. Oops, stay on the edge now here. There we go, right on the edge. Wow, apologize for my stomach if you hear that. It's starting to yell at me. Okay. Let's see now. Put this away. And this away. I also thought this washi tape would be really nice with something on here. So I might put some of that in the collaging of the cards. So here's, hopefully totally in frame. Here's our finished picture. And let's use our alphabet stickers to show that this is a pocket, and you could have, oops, those are coming up. You could have something quite large in there, and then this is a tuck where we could put something over there. I've thought about this because I think the colors kind of match. I have not covered the inside. It's totally collaged, but it could be a really big journal card that could sit here, because I think it goes fine with it. So I might do that. And maybe add some of the papers from here to tie it in. And then our other page that we made is this one with a cat and our tags and our pocket and our little watercolored kitty. So thank you for joining me today. It's Peggy from the Pearl Forest and our 2 pages that we made in the journal. Thank you. Have a great day.